This is what I'm talking about right here, man. Ooh.
Oh, what a weird day.
Hi.
Hi.
How's it going? Can I just get like a couple handfuls of the JoJo's?
A handful?
Yeah, like two? Yeah.
Two?
Yeah.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
All right, here you go.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bruh, I don't even know what this is, man. What do you think? You don't know either? Bruh. A lot of times, these like gas stations and whatnot, bruh, they like mad weird because you got like all kinds of people. You got the mad like stoners like me that be coming in with fucking pajama pants and shit. And then you got the motherfuckers that be coming in with like the bolo ties and whatnot. Are we ready for this? Small town ass bitch trying to say hi to me and whatnot. Ooh, my shit. One thing I gotta say for this week, man, or whatever. I don't know when this is gonna come out, but like for this week or whatever, 2 Chainz released a better album than Future and Lil Uzi. I agree with that. What's up, Jorge? Gonna says it again. You know what I mean? Call me a lesbian. This is the thing I want to talk about. So through Oregon or whatever, you know, a lot of times you go to a gas station or whatever. The food sometimes, most of the time, is gonna be shit, especially because like gas station food. When you hear about gas station food, it's like, oh, don't eat the gas station food or whatever. It'll make you shit. Okay, just hearing that back, I kind of agree with that. It will make you shit, but it's still good. Okay, it's still good. At least in Portland, you know what I mean? In this like Oregon area, the more rural spots, you know. If you go to like the more rural gas stations in like different parts of Oregon or whatever the fuck, the high key the food's really good. You know what I mean? The gas station food is just fried. It's hearty. It's very much for that like working class, like farming kind of. You know what I mean? That kind of group of people. You know what I mean? That kind of class of people. You know? It's just hearty and just fried, and it's just filling. You know? It's hearty and fried and filling.
Hearty and fried and filling.
One like gas station food, I guess. I'm gonna like focus on here is called a JoJo. All right, a JoJo. You're like, what the fuck is a JoJo? A JoJo is what I found out recently to be more of a Pacific Northwest thing. A JoJo is pretty much a potato wedge.
Ultimate potato wedges.
It's like a thick ass fry that's been battered and pressure fried and all this other shit. And seasoned, like dreaded and seasoned and all that kind of shit. It's pretty much a thick ass. This is a thick ass fucking potato wedge, man. A JoJo's pretty much a potato wedge. Alright, bro. This is what I'm talking about, okay, bro? This is what I'm talking about. I know there's like a weird angle or some shit, but like, bro, this is a JoJo, okay, bro? Look at this. Alright, bro. See how this shit's kind of like crumbling? That shit look crazy, okay, bro? It's just like, it's just a thick ass potato. It's breaded, okay, bro? That's all I'm really trying to say, alright? There's high key mad cars and like shit going on, but, bruh, look at that crispy ass potato, okay? It's really good. And if you like go to like some other gas stations, they'll have like a different recipe or different kind of breading or sometimes. I don't know. For like, I don't know, for the like for the wedge they use, you know. Some places really batter the fucking potato wedge, you know. They really just go in on it. I think they put extra like panko breadcrumbs, maybe, I don't know, but some places really put the time and effort into it, and it's just really good. And this one's honestly, I feel like taken care of pretty well. Okay, it's crumbly and it's just nice. It's warm as fuck too. It's a thick ass potato. Okay, that's all I could really say. Like I said, there's some other places that necessarily don't do it too much. There's some places that do it more. But this gas station I went to or whatever, pretty superb. You know what I mean? The thin ones are good too. Okay. If anything, it's just a crispy stick. Okay. Crispy ass potato stick. Okay. JoJo's. These are real JoJo's, okay? This is what a JoJo is, alright? People ask you what this is, you say JoJo, alright, bro? This will be on my shit. And just to like give a little history lesson or whatever on it, I did look this up, okay? I didn't just fucking like make all this up, you know what I mean? Like where you hear stories about, oh, who made the panini? Yes, Samuel S. Panini made the panini or some shit, you know? I don't think it's like that, but I mean, his name could have probably been JoJo, but A lot of the history and that kind of shit was very muddy and watery, and some of it I found from the Willamette paper, that kind of shit, and but also from the pressure fire companies in which that I'm about to talk about right now. A lot of the research came from like those kind of companies, you know. So I don't necessarily too much about the complete accuracy of the history of the JoJo, but this is like what I saw, you know, of it. Alright, so the JoJo, was presumably used to be before it became JoJo and all that kind of shit, you know, before things become a thing, you know. It is said to be a sort of bar food in Australia, you know, which I kind of get. I see the resemblance closer to Australia than the Pacific Northwest, you know. Australia would seem like a very like hardy kind of country. Most of the countries like taken over by the outback or whatever, you know, so they're pretty much like I don't know. I feel like a good amount of them would be having to just deal with all that the country life, you know. I'd assume I should say. I don't wanna. It is said to be bar food. A true JoJo is a potato wedge that's been breaded, pressure fried, and spiced. Says the father that started Nicewanger Company, Paul Nicewanger. And that's a quote from the dude that apparently started the JoJo or like put it out to like the general public, I should say. Paul Nicewanger, founder of the pressure fire company, Nicewanger Co. It is said that during this just a demonstration of how the pressure pressure works and that kind of stuff for his company, that he had put in a potato that was been slightly cut up to see how quickly it works, you know, and they apparently when people were impressed because the pressure fryer is fucking everywhere right now. I think the pressure fryer was invented by the dude that started KFC, if I remember right. I didn't do pressure fryer history. I did JoJo history, so I didn't go too deep into that. This dude that started the pressure fryer company, Nicewanger Co. in the Pacific Northwest, apparently gave a demonstration on how the pressure fryer worked and used potatoes as a demonstration to show the JoJo's, and that's what he'd use as the demonstration, the wedge, you know. And people were looking at it like, oh, what the fuck is that? So pretty much the idea of the potato wedge came out. The JoJo, I mean, the JoJo was it was kind of put out to the public at the same time the pressure fryer for this company was put out, you know, as with the demonstration, you know. It was presumably that people just started people who started gaining the pressure fryer just in other companies other than just KFC or anything like that was they just started putting on the menu local restaurants, not necessarily big chains, obviously. Said by the 1980s that the JoJo presumably was a local thing, you know, presumably like became like a local like fanatic. And I just recently, like a year ago ish, only really noticed this because when I was working in the deli, this bitch came up to me, is like started complaining about me. My friend told me what a JoJo is, told me to get a pound of JoJo's. I don't know what the fuck those are, so can you just get them for me? You know, she's kind of being like a bitch like that, and but it just kind of hit me in my head like, is like JoJo like a really like a thing? Obviously, I just realized it's very much a Pacific Northwest thing. It's very much catered to like a very much small group of, not necessarily a small group of people, but it's just a specific group. The potato always kind of fascinated me as a vegetable itself, with its minimalist and multiple uses as the vegetable itself. No, I'm tired. I'm about to pass out, Heike. The JoJo became popular at the same time the pressure fryer started to come out and became more of a popular use in restaurants. You know. So I guess that's kind of where it comes from. So pretty much the JoJo, that delicious thing that you guys fucking eat, is pretty much a propaganda to sell pressure fryers to big companies. Who knew, man? Food could be used to sell products. My very obscure head or whatever, a JoJo is pretty much propaganda to sell a pressure fryer. Crazy. The term JoJo is supposed to be said to be like a combination of sorts of the word junk and mojo. Because I think potato wedges were called like mojo somewhere. It said mojos. They were called yo, let me get a mojo right there. Nah, that sounds like a really alcoholic drink. Honestly, if I can get a mojo, you know. I don't. It doesn't necessarily sound like a potato. It is supposed to be a combination of words junk and mojo. JoJo. Sorry, mojo is a phrase for potato wedges used in like other parts. It said like northern, more or less, said more or less Northern California, but I'm still not 100% sure how accurate that is. And then junk just because of how starchy, and it's almost like fries, pretty much. Fucking JoJo, it's pretty much a thick ass fries, so it's like junk food. I guess it makes sense. I don't know. Sitting back and just kind of realizing the history of this, it's propaganda. Okay, they're just trying to sell restaurants fucking pressure fryers. You know, I kind of get it though, but that's kind of got. That's kind of what I got, I guess. I don't know. I don't necessarily have too much on it. It's like a potato. I know people don't necessarily like potatoes too much, just because it's, yeah, it's starchy. People don't agree with it too much or whatever. But I fuck with it. Okay, JoJo's are pretty much fries. It's like spicy and it's like kind of, it's just crispy on the outside and it's soft and it's like it's like a potato patty. I don't know. I feel like when you describe food in a certain way, it's gonna be disgusting, or it's gonna sound more repulsive than it is if I describe food. Or maybe I just don't know how to describe food. Either way, potato wedges, JoJo's are really good. JoJo's, I do suggest if you do come to Portland, just go out to any gas station that's more rural. Don't go to a fucking Shell, obviously. Don't be weird. I suggest Burton's towards like Estacada. Burton's is really cool, honestly, but like they're really nice there. They have really good gas station food. You know, I only eat the potato wedges though. I also fuck with the Fago. Maybe I'm a basic bitch for liking potatoes, but hey man, shit's good. Fuck you. JoJo's Jorge potato wedges. Try them for yourself. I think they're good. I hope you think they're good too. Love you. I write so much shit down, but like I don't feel like I say any of it, man. Later, Jorge. Um, yeah, love you. I passed out earlier. I had like 3 edibles that I made, like 3 cookies or some shit, and I just like passed out. I felt sick, high key. It was like the first time I felt sick off of edibles, high key. I never really felt like I've heard stories about people like throwing up or like uh just not feeling well, while eating edibles, and that was the first time I actually kind of felt like that. Definitely do not eat too many edibles. You will start feeling bad. Now I know. The JoJo in all of its essence.